Health is your real wealth. That's what we talk about. So even like the Mayweather boxing fitness gyms that I have, around the country as well as around the world, we just truly believe in health is your wealth. We want you working out. We're nobody's going to be here forever, but while we're here, we only have one body, we only have one temple, so we have to take care of our bodies, and that's what I'm doing. If I'm not going to invest in anything, I'm going to invest in myself. Health is your real wealth, so I got to make sure that I'm staying in good condition, in good shape.
Go to Amazon now. Get the generational health curriculum for you and your family. Go to Amazon now. Teach them babies generational health before it's too late. Go to Amazon now. Teach them babies generational health before it's too late. Go to Amazon now. Teach them babies generational health before it's too late.
Put Molly all in that champagne. She ain't need no. What? I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't need no. What?
Nigga, what are we looking at, bro? Oh.
So positive for HSV1 means you do not have herpes. It means you have had probably like a cool sore, more so stuff like this. And this is very common in the whole world.
Right.
2 out of 3 people in the world have HSV1.
Let me just look it up so I can.
Most adult stars, they do not test for HSV1 in most tennis shoes. Guess what?
Right. Yeah, it says, I'll just read the statistic. It says globally an estimated 64% of the people under 50 have HSV1, which is the main cause of oral herpes.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Where are your HSV1 herpes now, if you don't mind me asking? Does it show up? How does that work?
I've not had like an outbreak or anything but I'll say if it was to anything grow, it would probably be most of like a sore.
Got you. How often do you have an outbreak?
I can't recall. I haven't been so long.
But anyways, that is just on here. That's not genital herpes, correct?
No.
Right. So technically what the person is saying, and again, I would love to eventually have you and that person on together if she's with it. I wanted to clear up both your names, this is just
definitely, because also too in the situation, I understand she is a victim, but I'm sorry, Danae Davis is not my victim.
Let's get Dr. Nick, the Enqi, the Enqi, one of them, the Enqi niggas in particular, the Enqi nigga I was talking about the other day. What's that nigga name? The Enqi doctor, the doctor nigga.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky, you really need to read Dr. Enqi books.
God said he gave you a cow so you can eat. He said he separated the milk from the blood so you could drink it. But you niggas run around talking about, don't eat that. Who the fuck is you niggas to tell me different than what God said, nigga? So what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. Give me a 1 if you think he was curing people, and give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat.
Amazon.com.
I'm going to light this little clip up. Let me know. Misplaced loyalty. That's just a lot of ones. 1, 2, come Monte Ellis said cap. More ones than twos. I see the 1 and the 2. Share this live, y'all, because I want y'all to really hear this shit that I gotta say in regards to this. Share the live. Share the live. Hit this clip. He beat the U.S. in court. Cat. Him beating the U.S. in court. Cap. I'm calling cap on that. Public record, do your research. He won a case in the Supreme Court, proving it. Cap. Hold up. So now, check it. So one of the comments was about Dr. Sebi. And so my reply, look, same day. I get 63,000 views right here. Boom, saying, I just want to say, you are what you eat. Right? If you only eating plates. So, this shit is that, I said I had to come right back. I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. People get in the comments. They upset. Maybe they got plant-based diets. I don't know. Then they start asking me about Dr. Sebi. Oh, so you think Dr. Sebi was capping? Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi? Because that's what they did. Oh, he had the cure for this. He had the cure. What the fuck did that nigga cure? Who he cured? We want to know. Who had that hurt that don't got it no more? Fuck out of here, Dr. Sebi. That nigga ain't no different than Miss Cleo to me. Let's get to that. Hey, yo. Now, I said what all of you motherfuckers that put 1 in the chat, tell me who you know that had that hurt or that house in Virginia.
How about I just share my story? I share my story because this is something close to home. Because if we're dealing with sexual STDs, let's say I had 2 of them. This is how I got into the whole mix about health. You know, and I wonder how this looks, but I basically, after Georgia State, after being in a relationship where I'm super comfortable with it now because that's in hindsight. That's over a decade ago, right? So for me, you know, and it created such a cascade of things. But let me start from the top. You know, going to Georgia State University, for those of you who don't know, Atlanta, Georgia is the mecca of the greatest ratio for heterosexual males, I would say, in the country. Maybe outside the country, you get like places like the DR, Colombia, Philippines. But Atlanta was where I went to college, Georgia State University. And, you know, when you go to college, you do stupid shit. After graduating from Georgia State University, I found out that I found out through my girlfriend at the time, who, if she's seeing this, you know, she knows. She failed her pap smear test. And after she failed her pap smear test, I was like, yo, I need to go to get myself checked out. And when I got myself checked out, I had an HSV2. And that was the point where I said to myself,
Amazon.com.
Nah, something has to give. And backstory, in my life, previously, I was born with asthma. And from the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I was in the hospital back to back every single year. Every time the Sahara dust would come over the Caribbean and coat the Caribbean with that smog of really, really nutrient-dense stuff for the plants, I would get asthma. I would first get, my nose would get stuffy, I would get congestion, and then it would drip into my lungs, and I wouldn't be able to breathe. From that experience, the last time I went to the hospital was when I was 12, and I realized that the doctors and the nurses were a bunch of idiots. And I kept doing the same thing over and over, and I was like, fuck them. I'm going to just do some push-ups. I did some push-ups. The blood went up my IV. They took the IV out. I stopped eating their food, and I just started eating tuna fish and crackers. So by the time from 12 to 13, and then from 13 to 14, I lost an extreme amount of weight. I did push-ups, so I was getting stronger, and I never had to go to the hospital again. Fast forward, the context for what I'm telling you now is I knew when I was diagnosed with these STDs that there was a solution, because this word came from a medical mentality, and I know these guys they're just a bunch of idiots. So around that time, who was the GOAT at that time? It was Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was going around, he was talking his shit and doing what he was doing. So I went on the Dr. Sebi route, and in doing that, I stopped eating. So I was actually working at Georgia State University as a security guard at the time during this process. I went from being 175 pounds, which I am now again, to about 125, 130 pounds. So I stopped eating. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day.
How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad? That ain't valid.
And I took a bunch of herbs, and eventually I got my negatives. It took, I'd say, maybe, if I'm being modest, it took about 8 months for me to get rid of it, where I disappeared into nothingness. And my journey ever since has been trying to figure out how to make this process of healing more efficient. Talk to me.
Just real quick for the people so they can understand what you mean by 8 months to get your complete negatives, like, because they might not understand viral load and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you have HSV, you can have either a high viral load or a low viral load.
Amazon.com.
The higher the viral load, the higher the level of your body's defense mechanism against it. The lower the viral load, the less your body's fighting a disease. The only thing you pick up when you're doing an HSV test is your body's fighting of the disease versus its storm, but we'll get to that later. So it took me 8 months to get from where I was to being completely negative. That's how long it took, using the approach that I took. And if I'm being 100% honest, I didn't know shit at the time. I just knew that if I kept this up, or rather I just believed, keyword, that if I kept this up, I would get the results. And as I saw the number go down and down, it did just that, right? So that was my journey, and me figuring out how to get those results in the most efficient way has been really, not just for herpes, but in all aspects of health. That's been my health journey. How do I help people get this in the most efficient way? Normal people, because I realized I was not a normal person to just stop eating. It requires a lot of willpower to just go cold turkey. Normal people will never do that in order to get those results. They would never. How to make it so that normal people can get those real results. That is what I spent, I would say, 12, 13 years now, trying to learn. And a part of that journey, I'm speaking to what I would easily say my greatest teacher that helped me figure out the mystery. So this is dope. Just being able to be here. And in this capacity on this live with this man, you guys don't even know.
Amazon.com.
You guys don't even know. And as we begin to talk and share more things transparently in a way that's receptive for people, you guys are going to understand. Like most of the people that you listen to right now, remix a lot of the stuff Dr. Enqi has taught.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. You really need to read Dr. Enqi books.
Who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi?
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
The Enqi, Dr. Nick, the Enqi, Dr. Enqi. One of them niggas in particular, the Enqi. Nigga I was talking about the other day. The Enqi. What's that nigga name? The Enqi doctor. The doctor nigga.
It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, you heard?